Bear down. Bear down.
It's a bear down.
Who you finna call? Bearsbanter. First things first, what's the team in question? Her Soldier Field got a couple lethal weapons. Bear down, first down, couple key possessions. Come to the post game, watch them teach some lessons. Say, what? I don't think them people are convinced. I say call them, but they tell you how to read a blitz. They in cover 2, tell me why they switch to cover 6. Every Friday at 7:30, no I cannot miss. Like, hey yo, yeah we live for the post game show.
Epic scoring with the Bears and the 49ers. Week 17. Bears lose 42-38. It was a good showing. I'm not mad. I see on social media people backtracking just because they're not fans, but let's talk about it. Bears Banter Talk Show, Week 17. Bears lose 49ers 42-38.
Man, that was a good game, Jay.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
Man.
Yeah, it was. It
You
was.
know what? The Bears, let me say this real quick. Last week against the Packers, I said that was the best game I seen this year. This week, watching them against the 49ers, I said again, that's the best game I seen. No defense, but it was still, man, that was a thriller, man. I'm disappointed in the outcome, but man, that was a thriller.
Well, my thing is, if you look at the game that we played against the Packers last week, we wind up winning 22-16. The Bears gave up 16 points. And it's one of those things where this team actually can adapt to what the situation calls for. So that's how I'm looking at this game going away, as we lost and we gave up 42 points. But at the same time, we scored 38. And it's like when the Bears need to hold an opponent, it's kind of hard for me, it's kind of hard to decipher good and bad in that situation. But I use the old adage that you play down to your competition. And I think, not saying that the Packers are this bad team, and it's also a rivalry. So we played down to what that was. But last night was an epic thing. And last night actually showed us that we can actually score points on an opponent if we have to get in the shootout. But at the same time, and I know I'm going at the same time a lot of time, at the same time, San Francisco's defense ain't that good either. So it was basically whoever had the ball last night had a possibility of winning the game.
Trash. Man, shoot. I seen better defense with duct tape than what we saw last night. That was just on both sides, just trash. I mean, man, golly. It was bad. It looked I said on Friday in the pregame show that in order for the Bears to win, the defense was gonna have to show up. Now, that's my fault because I said they had to show up. I didn't say they had to play well. I don't remember. I had to go back and look, but they did show up.
Everybody can show up.
Yeah, they all showed up. Well, you know what?
They got off the plane.
They did get off the plane, and a lot of them was sick. I need to find out who had the bug. Back in the day, they used to call that VD. I don't know what happened with the Bears, but all these people, everybody talking about they was sick. They got a flu bug and all that. I was like, yeah. But the defense, I mean, you scored 38 points in the NFL game. You thinking you gonna win the game?
Absolutely.
I was disappointed in a lot of our play calling. I just don't think we're in a position, especially with our defense and the pass rush, and knowing Kyle Shanahan was going to be running different trick plays, boots, and all the other type stuff, that you want to get into a shootout with a team like that. But I told you guys I didn't want the Bears to have the number 1 seed. I want Green Bay to bring their monkey ass back here to Chicago for the first round of the playoffs and potentially play Philly again. It's all working out.
Okay.
I love it when the plan comes together.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that was an exciting game yesterday. I love watching it. I thought that was right exactly what we needed. I hate that we lost. It exposed, if nothing else, all of the flaws that we have defensively. We have zero pass rush going. We also don't have linebackers that are able to. They're fast, but they're for whatever reason, every team that we're playing against is getting separation in the passing game against our secondary. So that's a horrible thing to add together. From a talent perspective, the Bears are not up to par and from a defensive standpoint. But hey, we've been playing this way all year. You play with what you got. What some of my good takeaways were offensively, we showed how the Bears can look because we actually saw a mirror on the other side looking at San Francisco's offense, and we was like, oh my goodness, these guys haven't punted the ball in 4 games. So we know that this offense can be successful, but for the first time, at least it felt like to me, we actually saw that happening in real time in the game.
Yeah, hey, I saw a comment by Chris Beasley that I thought was some pretty great points. What's up, Chris?
What's up, Chris?
He said,
bro.
yeah, I know he said not upset about the loss, but he said some key plays. Yeah, that hands to the face by Dexter was crucial because it allowed them to play. Those 2 drops and a couple of misfires by Caleb. Then I just want to add one other point. I personally didn't like the hook and ladder. The reason I did not like it in that play is because of how far they was away from the end zone, not having any timeouts. Yeah. And I love Swift, but it's times where I say the same thing about Swift.
You see me? When he got the ball, he did the semi
back to the middle of the field to the traffic for no apparent reason. That's a play where if you do that play, race for the power line. Worst case could have happened in that was they knocked you out of bounds, the clock stopped, or maybe you beat the guy. But he ran into the pile of guys.
Yep.
Now they holding them up. Then they start pushing them, right? You're losing valuable
seconds on the clock.
The second, then when he gets up with the ball, he's so nonchalant, like he thought they had a timeout. So they take the ball out of his hand. He's supposed to jump up at least at a minimum and run back over to the. He gets up kind of like nonchalant, and then they kind of like they lost a lot of time there. But just to add on to what Chris said, but besides that, I thought they played a good game. They didn't play a good defensive game. The flaws that I think Plank expressed that I think I saw all year, even though there were times of grade, they can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They're great. They're great at turnovers, which is odd. But the turnovers have been sustainable for some reason. But they have gotten turnovers in the red zone, which have made them a good red zone team. And some of those have been forced turnovers. But when you got to a team last night that was good in the red zone, they had 10 possessions in that game, which is interesting. They scored on 6 of those possessions and spotted the Bears 1 touchdown. So that's the 7th possession. And
that was a score too.
3 times. What's that?
That was a score too. So they scored on that drive too.
Score too, right? So they scored on that one too. They scored for the Bears. So in the 10 possessions they had, they scored 6 touchdowns on those possessions. Had a pick 6 and 3 punts. And you're like, man, and what happened is the Bears scored. When they scored, they had explosive plays, and that's why they was able to tie the game back up.
And I think, Bernard, to your point, in real time, I actually liked the hook and ladder. I was like, ooh, this is different. But then as I watched it again today, I was like, Swift, dude, you gotta understand clock management. And you went right back into the teeth of the defense. And now you got to get up, spike the ball, and then come for the last play. But I got another theory for y'all. And I don't know if this is off script, but I kind of looked last night, and I wonder when they were scrambling and that ball was on what was the 4 yard line or the 2 yard line?
I
Uh,
think it snapped from the 2
it,
almost.
the two. I almost thought about Caleb should take a delay a game to give you. You take the delay a game. The
Get
clock
you
is
more
stopped.
space.
It gives you more space. So now instead of going from the 2, you're going from the 7. And but as he's not a veteran quarterback yet, and Ben probably wasn't thinking that way. But I was thinking, I was like, ooh, maybe they should take a delay a game and give themselves a little bit more space to operate to try to get this winning score.
I got to look at the rules because on an
You get 10
offensive
seconds.
penalty, you might get a 10-second runoff though.
No, you're not going to get a 10-second runoff. You're not going to get a 10. Trust me, I didn't look this up all day because my theory
That's what I'm
was
saying. I
like,
got to look up the
what's going
rules.
on? I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, is it a 10-second runoff? But I don't think it would have been a 10-second runoff.
Yeah,
I
So I
don't
don't
think
know.
we did a good job in time management anyway. Here it is. When we got the ball, I believe we had two.
3 timeouts, 3 timeouts,
That's
2:15.
even worse. So we
3
run
timeouts,
down the
2:15.
field with 3 timeouts, and you run out of time, especially on that last play. One of the things that happened was it took too long for Ben Johnson to get the play in to Caleb Williams. So Caleb Williams is trying to hurry up and get the play in, which didn't give him an opportunity when he's at the line to reset reset based on the defense. So he saw a couple of things, but he's so busy worried about getting the playoff and not taking that penalty, because if he did, the game would have been over. So a lot of that was on Ben Johnson. But again, we got to take the good with the bad. Ben Johnson had a lot of, my chest is bigger than yours, and I'm going to take off my shirt at the end of the game. And that's not necessarily what we needed him to do.
The only question I had the whole game was when we got into scoring position after the long completion. I don't remember why they did just not run the ball and spike it. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree,
Good point.
Simeon. Thanks for coming back, Simeon. Thanks, I appreciate it. I don't understand it. It was a lot of, and I don't want to be that Bear fan to be so critical. Like it was a lot of things Ben Johnson didn't do in this game. He didn't do this. He didn't do this. He was coaching the game that was in front of him as the way he saw it. So I'm not going to be that fan to be like the Bears didn't do this. Nope, nope, nope. Because Ben has been doing what he's been doing all year, and it has come to wins. So I'm not going to be that. But there was some questionable things that I thought about after the game and during the game. I'm like, okay, why we didn't do this? Like I say, we didn't run the football very well. Not very well, but we didn't run it enough, in my opinion. Because when you run the football, you actually slows you speed up the game. You speed up the game, and you don't give the 49ers as many possessions as they would have had.
Well, here was the thing when we were texting last night. He started running the ball, and then all of a sudden they ran the play action pass, and I think they hit either Komet or somebody up that left sideline on that play we dropped the ball in. And so the run in your offense, you're trying to run play action passes, and if you don't establish the run, you're faking play action for what? It makes no sense. They're not believing that you're going to run the ball. And you think it's 17. They ran the ball 17 times last night. There are 4 quarters. So if you break that down, that equates to
Right.
4 runs a
Four runs
quarter.
a quarter. Right.
We had 42 passes yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you break that down to 4 quarter. I mean, we almost throwing the ball. It was like almost 11 to
11 times a
11
game,
yeah,
11 passes per quarter. Yeah.
Yeah,
versus 4 runs, and you the second highest running team
Running
in the
team in it.
NFL.
Yeah. Yeah.
That don't make
if you look
sense.
at it, we played abysmal defense yesterday because we got no kind of pass rush or pressure on the quarterback. And then, even worse than that, when the quarterback decided to run to you, we didn't even pinch
You
him.
couldn't tackle it. Right.
I
Right.
was like, oh, you got a 200-pound quarterback running in the end zone and then dancing afterward. I was like, man,
Well,
I was more upset about the dancing than anything. I'm like, man, somebody got to hit him in the mouth. And
they
Jerron Dexter,
something.
The only way that I knew that he played is he got the penalty at the end of the
He got
game.
the penalty at the end of the
I
game.
didn't
Yeah,
hear his name. I didn't see him in the play the whole rest of the game.
He had
yeah, that
one
was critical
tackle.
though.
He had one tackle. He landed on top of somebody.
One more tackle than Sweat had.
But but
He was out there stealing money, man.
there was something that had to be coming out because both of those runs were ran to Austin Booker's side, in which he did not contain the end, contain the outside at all. So there had to be something that came out to say, "Hey, we can get this on him because of his rush or whatever." One play, Purdy ran right by him,
He's
and he didn't even see him.
He gets a second string tackle. So they starting tackle wasn't even in the game plan. So yeah, that was just horrible.
You know that second.
That second about Booker.
Sorry, Jay. The second one he ran in, I remember he canned the play. My son was watching me. I said, "Man, this sounds like the same exact can." Whatever he called, right? I said he's canning to a quarterback boot. Because it sounded exactly like what he did the first can, and exactly what he did. I said, "Watch, he gonna boot out to the left and walk in the end zone." And so he could hit the Dougie on the Bears. Hey, let me run this thing real quick, Jay. Hold on, give me a second.
And Williams to the air one more time, sending it downfield to the end zone for Burden. He's got it. Touchdown, Chicago. Luther Burden just told you about his ability.
And I think we're a team to be reckoned with, and so I'm excited for this next game. I'm excited to go back and watch this film and figure out how we can better, how we can put up more points, how we can be more efficient maybe on offense for moments like this, because we may see this team again, and and we may see other offenses again that that are very similar and things like that. And so like I said, I'm excited for what's to come in that sense. And so like I said, we're a team that's going to fight, and I think we've proven that.
What was the low point for you last season?
Realizing we had 12 losses. Never lost that much in one season in my life or anything like that.
Caleb Williams looks lost and is regressing badly.
I think Caleb Williams is trash. I think he's overrated. I don't give a fuck that he's a rookie.
I've only watched Caleb Williams 3 games last year, 3 this year, so I'm only halfway done, okay? The one thing that is clear, he is not special. But I'm a tree. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. It's okay.
Hey, I wanted to show that, man, because I wanted to show the criticism of Caleb Williams last night, that from last year to like the throw he made last night. That was an amazing throw to Luther. He threw the ball on the 45-yard line.
Flat-footed. And
I love to see those critics eat their words now about Caleb Williams, because the Bears was able to stay in that game because their quarterback was able to sustain them drives and keep them in that game. And I believe that when we thought, I said this before, they're playing the scoreboard more than anything. That game caused for them to play with urgency early, and they was able to rise with it. I think that's all that happened in games was Green Bay had 6. We wasn't in no hurry. We just knew we could get 7. Last night, we knew we had to score, and our quarterback was able to rise to that occasion, man, and match this team point for point. And at the end, late in the game, we actually were up by 3 points. And there's no point in that game other than that first 7 that I thought, we would take a lead that early. But we actually, it was about 6 minutes into the game, we went up by 3 points.
Man, you gotta be careful talking about Caleb, man. There might be some people after you. I'm looking out the window like, man, he's talking about Caleb good and stuff, bro. There's still people out there, even to this day. The defense been winning all our games. I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever.
I think it's interesting that they hold Caleb Williams to a state of perfection. So anything that he doesn't do well on that play, they all feel like they need to jump on that and criticize and talk about well he's still under development or what have you. Anytime you got a guy that throws a 50-yard touchdown on a rope, but actually 2 of those, and they start saying, well, he's missing the easy throws. Dude.
Yeah, that ball he threw to Loveland too. That ball to Loveland was on the rope too.
It
was. Yep.
So maybe that's why DJ Moore thought that he could hide over there in the reverse end zone with his hands up 55 yards away from him and say, I'm open, like he was supposed to hear you at the end of the game. So I just had to get that in. DJ Moore is getting on my nerve from time to time.
And I said that to Bernard when Bernard posted that earlier. Everybody, that still clip went around social media all day, and they was talking about how he missed DJ Moore wide open in the end zone. Okay, you got a quarterback that's rolling to his left. Am I right? He rolling to his left.
Yeah,
and he's open in the end zone on the right. You can't make that play.
55 yards?
Yeah. In the air, you're exactly right, Plank. That's like 50 yards. You can't make that play. But like I say, people use those things to create their own narrative. But at the same time, put one of those. Bernard, I'm sorry, if you don't mind, put that last comment up. It was a good game, and we know now that depending on who we're playing, we can put points on the board. And that was the thing that I liked last night. At the end of the game, though, fellas, that was a damn good game. And it was. And I had that inkling. It was, if we were told we had a chance to win on the last play in Frisco, we all would have taken it. We can't nitpick. Exactly. And that's what I was talking about earlier when I talk about how Bears fans was like, oh, they didn't do this and they didn't do that. They didn't do this. But those are, I hate to say it, those are the bandwagon fans that just started watching the Bears games. They just started watching. So, last night I went to bed. I wasn't mad. I wasn't upset. I was just happy that we didn't get blew out on a Sunday night, which is not one of those things where I'm like, okay, we didn't get blew out, but we competed. We competed in a game. And again, I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to get off my soapbox. The San Francisco 49ers are also playing a last place schedule, which is the same thing that the Bears are playing, the same thing that the New England Patriots are playing. So all these teams that's done went from worst to first, they all playing last place schedules. But the narrative around the Bears has been earlier this year that we wasn't playing nobody. And not to mention that you're talking about a same San Francisco team that's playing in a division which is almost as good as ours. Well, you got Seattle, you got the Rams, and you got the 49ers.
Might be better than ours this year.
I'd say they better.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, let me tell you something about last night's game. Last night's game just showed why the hell we picked who we picked in the draft.
Oh, yes, sir. Both of those.
Not even, Ozzie held his own. He had some mistakes.
3 of them.
But,
3 of them.
Man, and Managa. Hey, listen, wait, hold on.
I'm sorry, quick.
Let's go back,
Doc. I'm sorry, Doc. You're right. We got 4 of them.
Managa, we didn't run the ball. Managa had 4.8 rushing yards per attempt yesterday. Swift had 6, so I'm still trying to figure out why we didn't run the ball. But anyway, I'm get off of that. He had 6. He had 4.8. 2 of those is a first down. But anyway, I never was good at math. But here's the thing: those rookies. I'm looking at Loveland. Burton had 8 receptions, 138 yards. Loveland had 6 receptions, 94 yards. And we were all trying to figure out, why did we draft those guys? Hey, man, You know now. If you don't know, you
Now you
effed
know.
around and found out last night. You effed around and found out last night why those guys got selected in that draft. And depending on how and just getting a little bit fast forward, depending on what happens after the season, them guys are still on rookie contracts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's
Yep.
a grand slam, dude.
Yep.
That's a grand slam.
Yep.
Man, you picking up. I mean, you picked up guys that came in and been contributing all season long. Trust the process. That's all I gotta say. Trust the process.
Well, I think I was out yesterday before the game or whatever. I'm at Costco, and the number of people that had on these Chicago Bears shirts and hats and all of that. I mean, I was like, okay, everybody, we ready for this. And I look at a couple of people and I say, bear down, go Bears. And they look at me like they had no idea what I was
Like
talking
they
about.
had no idea what you was talking about.
I was like, oh, that bandwagon is full now.
Uh-huh.
It seems like to me, the Bears strategy going into the playoffs is almost going to have to be the Cincinnati Bengals strategy, that we had a team and put the offense out there and try to outscore the other teams in order to have a legitimate chance. If we actually use that, that means we're going to have to run the ball more, if nothing else, but to try to play a little bit more keep away from the other team. Because it, in my mind, it's pretty clear that we cannot stop the Rams, that we can't stop the 49ers. I'm not even sure if we're going to be able to keep up with the Seahawks based on the defensive show I saw yesterday. One thing might make us a little bit better if Kyler Gordon comes back, if he can give us something. But I don't put all of the faith in one guy anyway.
And Plank, I disagree with you on that because I feel like the Bears played to their competition. If the opposing offense, and I'm going to use the Green Bay game as an example, if they're going to try to, run the ball and beat you with play action, our defense is able to stop that. Because with a team like San Francisco, they're not really trying to. They're gonna run the football, but they run the football in a very different way than the Green Bay Packers do. The Packers are gonna use a Josh Jacobs to pound the rock into the defensive line. But you got a team like San Francisco that's gonna try to hit you on the outside. So I just feel like the Bears defense, like I said, they gave up 16 points last week to the Green Bay Packers. That defense that showed up last night was a different defense that showed up in week 16. So I just really feel like it's really all about the competition that we're playing and the style of offense that they're running.
I don't know about that, Jay. Christian McCaffrey ran for like 150 yards and got another reception.
But everything he hit was outside of the tackles.
It doesn't matter if it's inside or outside. It's still the run game. If we can't stop the run, it's hard to be successful in the playoffs. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Timmy, I'm assuming you may be referring to maybe Luther. You said, do he remember? I'm gonna say. Or is he talking about? Well, I would say all the guys they got. Well, Allen Robinson had a good career, but I would say, if it's Luther you're referring to, Luther has more separation than either one of those guys. Allen Robinson was more of a possession guy that you just had to throw into tight coverages. He's going to come down with it. He didn't get a lot of separation, Allen Robinson. David Terrell.
15 on our team or their team? Because Adunze is 15 on our team. And
Adunze.
Oh, he said 15. I'm sorry.
It might be. That's Jennings. Jennings is 15 on the 49ers. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I misunderstood the question. But I do want to address Luther. I agree with what y'all said about getting Luther, man. I think Quick just said that. Man, you know what? Getting those guys, they have been impactful. Luther, Loveland.
That dude is so shifty.
Monangai, even Capillo, they have all played a role. I think nobody was Shamar Turner, who got hurt early on. That's about it. Everybody's played a role. man, I hate to say this, and I hate to kind of diminish players that play well. If DJ, when you watch games like that, man, and I know what he did last week, if you have to make some kind of trade scenario next year to get some kind of pass rusher, I don't know if you do or not. DJ does become expendable. I know he wasn't feeling good, but if you look at a game like that where Luther took over that game, and it wasn't just like he just was just catching and just getting to the ground. He has attitude. He's on shimmy you. He's going to fake you. And then when you ready to grab him, he's going to bully you and make you tackle him. And then he's going to get up and dance in your face. and Loveland's hands are so soft, man. I mean, for a tight end, man, that guy's hands is soft, man. He's hard to cover, man.
We also and if we can get back into last night's game, we also had a couple of big drops last night too. We had a couple of big drops last night. And just to say real quick, Falcons 14, Rams 0.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's why I was shaking my head when Plank was talking about the Rams, and I'm like,
Stafford just threw a pick six.
Of course, that's what he does. But he's gonna still go 40.
Listen, but get back to last night's game. We did have a couple of big drops last night. Colston, Loveland, and I think they said it was his first drop of the season.
It wasn't.
And I said the same thing. I'm like, okay, Colston has dropped the ball before, but last night I think it was 3rd and 5 when he dropped that pass, and they wound up going into the fourth down play. We had some big drops last night. And all those things go into what people talk about, Casey's completion percentage. But in the end, like I say, last night, I went to bed last night, not even mad, feeling good. Like, okay, on the road, we knew what the carpet ride was going to be. Can the carpet ride continue throughout the playoffs? No. So, we lost the game last night, regroup, let's beat Detroit and get ready for this wild card weekend.
Yeah, he had a drop a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't know, was it the Green Bay game or the game before? Because actually, if that play had not been ruled a drop, it would have been a fumble. They actually contested this drop he had, and the ball was not defended because the defender didn't even touch the ball. He lost the ball going down to the ground, and the defender took it from him, and they actually reviewed it and said it was a no catch. So he did have one before, but in that game, man, I thought the defense played tight as well, and they took a lot of bad angles. It almost seemed like at some point when Purdy started rolling and moving, guys was running at him, and they was kind of like they was running up at Mike Vick, right? Guys used to run towards Mike, and they were kind of like, man, let me let him make the move first, right? And then you were seeing guys like slowing up, taking bad angles, and I do think the Bears somehow has to keep DeMarco Jackson in the rotation because I think the tackling was better. They missed a lot of tackles last night in the open field. They had some 3rd down conversions, like even right in that last score. I'm thinking, man, you got the guy. You right there. You're right there. You should be able to tackle a two-yard loss, and the guy actually missed them and dragged him for the extra yard.
Because that last touchdown to Jawan Jennings, I looked at Byard and Brisker, and I was like, "What are y'all doing?"
Horrible angle.
Yeah, they bad angle.
That last exactly bad angles. Jaquan Brisker angle was so bad. He should have just faked the injury. As bad as his angle was, he should have faked the injury. I was like, "Oh my God, dude, what are you doing?"
So bad. The Bears ended up hitting their own players trying to make tackles on the ball carrier. Jalen Johnson ended up smashing Nashawn Wright, and I'm like, are you trying to tackle people with your eyes closed? Because that has never happened. I've never seen that happen in the game.
That was the best hit of the night. I was like, man, you got knocked out. And right up like, man, which one of y'all hit me, man? Like, which one of y'all? He got whacked.
Chris Edmonds did not have a good game last night. He definitely was way out of position, and last night actually put a lot of film on tape for our playoff opponents because our linebackers are not great in short yardage coverage. I'm not saying the long yardage, 3rd and 10, their coverage is okay. But in short yardage, they seem to get lost, and you got tight ends finding open windows where the touchdown Hughes at yesterday. This dude was standing in the end zone wide open. I mean, and if you look back at the film, Edmonds is looking around like, where do I go? Where do I go? Where's my man? Where's my man? So they got a lot to clean up before the playoffs. But
a lot of that too is when they in zone, they spend so much time looking at the quarterback instead of getting to the receiver that's in their zone. And that's so it's like, all right, I'm in my hook curl, but I'm in my hook curl, but there's a receiver that's 4 yards away from me in my hook curl. You're not actually playing the receiver in your zone.
In your zone.
Yeah. So when that occurs, it's like I'm looking at the quarterback. Okay, all right. So now they're gonna, and they've gotten away with this too, as far as taking chances on turnovers. As far because I watched some stuff on Nashawn Wright yesterday, and he takes a lot of chances on the ball, but he's not near the ball. Because like even on that post, he's looking and dude and already cut, and he like, oh man, let me try to hurry up and catch up with him and try to knock the ball down, and you're not there. So they're taking a lot of chances and not actually covering the receivers that's in their zone. So
I wanted to take a second to do a shout out to one good part of the game yesterday that I was just really excited about, and that was Darnell Wright. He had an illness, and they were talking about he probably wasn't even going to make it to the game. The dude ended up taking a private flight that they actually booked for him, made it to the game, started, gave up 0 sacks, 0 pressure. The Chicago Bears' entire offensive line gave up 0 sacks or pressures. That might be the best I've seen them play, which is why it's that much more frustrating that we didn't run the ball more. But I just wanted to point out something that I thought was phenomenal. There was no chance that, in my mind, that Darnell Wright wasn't going to somehow make it to the game to play. So hats off to all those young men.
Yeah, that's some great points, Frank. The offensive line is one of the best units they have. I mean, which is a big turnaround from last year. And it makes a difference to a quarterback if those guys can block. It makes a difference to your running game. Can those guys block? But on the opposite side, one of their weakest units is their defensive line. Their defensive line, you know what? The only body I could say flash yesterday was, even though he got stuff around him, was Booker. Booker was like one of the few people that actually was creating some pressure. And the Bears pass rush, other than Booker, is just too slow. They're too slow. I was laughing with somebody asked me about Billings, and excuse the people if you're offended by this. And they asked me like what he do as a lady asked. I said he's a run stopper. That's why he's that big. I said he got fat for no reason. I said he can't stop the run. I said, so he might lose the weight because he got fat for no reason.
And the thing about Booker being, as much as Montez, as good as Montez Sweat is, he's not creating the pressures that the Bears defensive line need. And Booker is so young and undisciplined, which is the reason why he's getting these penalties. He's out there just on gut instinct, which is making him seem like he's our best pass rusher. And in theory, he is our best pass rusher, but he's so undisciplined. He's so undisciplined as a pass rusher. And he's doing what instinctively that he needs to do to get to the quarterback.
So, hey, I think I just seen Simon or somebody mention number 58. Number 58 at this point has not. He had some good moments, but he has not lived up to why they brought him in. As many times number 58 that's Grady Jarrett. No, I'm sorry, not 58. I'm sorry.
50. Yeah, I'm like,
Number 50.
you
I'm
just
like, okay, wait a minute, hold
Sorry.
on.
Like,
Hold on.
yeah, whoa.
No, he mentioned 58, but I was thinking Grady Jarrett. I'm sorry.
Grady
Jarrett has been not a good signing. He has had his moments here and there where he flashes, but at the most part, he doesn't really stop the run. And I don't see them even with Sweat and then the combination of them, I don't see people getting double teamed and they're still not getting pressure. I'm seeing people line up and moving them off the ball. And I'm seeing the quarterback, even sometimes when they're bringing a blitz package, I'm seeing everybody getting blocked up. And sometimes it's crazy because sometimes they're bringing 6 guys and they're being blocked by 5 guys. Or I've seen them bring 7 guys and somehow they don't even get through, and there's only 5 guys blocking them. So I don't know if they're taking bad angles or what they're doing, but that interior is no good at this point. Between Pickens, Billings, and Grady, they're really not producing that at all, and that's a deficit from your team because that's why teams are able to run on you. They're able to run on you because they're able to move your guys out of the way, and that guard is able to get to the next level and put a hat on your linebackers.
On your linebackers, yep.
Yeah,
part of the problem there is they're getting 2 yards before contact. You know, so the linebackers ain't even making first contact to the other team's running back already has 2 yards. That's pretty horrible. So I'm looking at the stats, and it looked like the Bears got almost 80 tackles yesterday. And you look at that, you say, man, everybody was tackling. But if they had to make 80 tackles in a game, they've been on the field quite a long time.
They've been on the field for a long time.
Right.
They've been on
Remember,
the field
those
for a
are
long
like
time.
I said, that's only 10 possessions.
Yeah,
That's only 10 possessions.
So
you
we
got
talk
4
about
quarters.
So we talk about we talk about 8 tackles of possession.
Yikes.
We're not trying to be mathematicians, y'all, but we just trying to break it down the way it is. But last
And
night's
if
game,
you make a tackle at the 40 yards, they still count it as a tackle. But
they still count as a tackle.
Really
They do it for Roquan.
Yeah, sorry, y'all. I got a couple of my numbers wrong today, trying to just from a long day at work. Been off work for a week. Hey, but anyway, man, let's get on to some of the great stuff we saw in the game. Caleb Williams he threw for 330 yards. I thought I'm gonna stats up. Hold on, let me get that up.
330.
Caleb 25 for 42, 330 yards, two TDs, quarterback rating of 100.3, 59.5 completion ratio. I thought Caleb saw the field well. Of course, he's gonna miss a couple of plays. Everybody does. He's just a second-year player. I think the way he's processing the stuff is tremendous growth. He's audible and out of plays. That makes a difference. His play fakes are, man, I love his play fakes. His play fakes look so real. And I like how, I don't know if this is the right word to use, but elongated, how he stretches it out. He stretches it out.
He stretches it out. Oh, Lord.
Bernard, put those stats back up there.
Okay.
Because at one time he was 25 for 42. At one point, and I think it was like at the 5-minute mark of the game, or maybe the 6-minute mark, he was 20 of 29.
He sure was.
And I remember that because when I came home from work today, I was watching the game. The game was on NFL Network, Instant Classic. It was on, and they flashed the stats. He was 20 for 29 at one point. So for him to wind up being 25 for 42, that says a lot. That says a lot.
Yeah, you kind of had those drops, and you had a couple of throwaways, and they started generating pressure because early in the game, neither team actually blitzed for a while, and so even like them last series, they start getting some pressure and bringing more pressure because he was picking them apart. Jay, like you said, it was 20 for 29 at one point, and I thought there was no way Caleb was going to get 4,000. Coming into this game, because I didn't think he was going to have a 300-yard game. There is a possibility now because he threw for 330, so that means he need 270. I don't know what they're going to do in Detroit game. I know that's not really on their agenda, but he's a competitor. That's the main thing I want to say. Caleb is a competitor, and Caleb is going to compete every minute on the field. What you got, quick?
Now I'm. You know what's funny when we talked about Caleb getting the 4,000 yards, I was like, does he got a bonus or something that if he gets to 4,000? Because we was just throwing the ball yesterday to be throwing it, and I was like, are they trying to get him to 300 yards to get to another 300 to get to 4,000? I'm like, I don't know. Just seemed a little odd to me. We did some uncharacteristic stuff, especially to be down Rome and Zacchaeus. That's what I was like. We just gonna come out and sling the ball? I don't know.
Zacchaeus didn't play. I couldn't tell.
Well,
I haven't been able to tell the last couple of weeks if he was out there or not, because if he was out there, he was invisible, and when he was visible, he was dropping the football. So
he made that catch in Green Bay though.
Oh, of course he did. Of course he did.
That's the hey.
I'll tell you what, the only defensive lineman that made any good plays was Austin Booker. So not only did he get the sack, maybe he took some bad angles. That's something that can be coached up. But he actually batted down three or four passes as well. So he was somebody that at least tried to pinch people. Strangely enough, though, all of the games that I had to look at yesterday in order to get to the Bears as a late game, those were some horrible games that I was sitting through. I was like, is this the best product that the NFL has to offer? So the Bears in San Francisco, they actually exceeded expectations because that looked like a real game. It looked competitive. The other games I was watching, Aaron Rodgers and all of that stuff, those games were horrible. And I don't know if I've got to a point late in the season or whatever. It just looked like a lot of teams didn't even care. From a Bears standpoint this week, if we can't get fired up after giving up 42 points to play a team that scored a 50 burger against us early in the year, I don't think we have any chance of doing anything in the playoff anyway. I think we got to take it to Detroit.
Yeah, Plank. Thinking about what you said, I thought in this game, Booker was probably one of the most noticed player in the game. Really, I'm gonna say this: Jalen Johnson looks slow as heck. I know Quick been talking about him for a couple of years. Other than that bad play, the first play of the game, Jalen Johnson looks. I shouldn't even say today. Yesterday, Jalen Johnson has looked slow all year.
His career, he's looked slow.
He got burned so much.
Don't be biased, Quick. Don't be biased, Quick.
Hey, listen, I've been saying I ain't just started this today.
He didn't.
Jalen Johnson got so burned so much yesterday. He was always chasing somebody yesterday. And you know what? I just want to mention a few things on defense. I thought Briscoe was always out of position yesterday. I don't even know what he was even doing sometimes. Like, dude, like, is this your guy? Is this your zone? Or what? Right, yeah, it looked like he was freelancing a lot. He wasn't really being disciplined. And then he wasn't even tackling well at the most part. Hell, he tackled his own man harder than, like Mike said, did he tackle?
And I guess I'll call him out because I did last year. We was at a game last year, and he was really with the theatrics. And I was just like, I was like, Jaquan Brisker think he's better than what he is.
You've been saying that for 3 years.
And I've been saying that, but it seems like after I say that, the next game, he actually has a good game. So maybe I'll just call him out again and say, Jaquan Brisker, you're not as good as you think you are.
Hey,
Chris,
Chris
I
said
think
he's
you're
the
right.
worst DB on the field. Yeah.
Oh wow.
He's actually a
Okay.
safety though. He's a safety.
Is he? I don't feel
Brisker,
safe
yeah.
around him.
I don't
Yeah.
feel. I was gonna say I don't feel too safe right now. I don't feel too safe right now with Brisker. But
He's a safety.
but what I don't want to do is downplay what this team has done this year. So, we can have fun with this. They lost last night, and we can have fun with this because they actually competed and they were in the game with a shot to win the game.
The
So,
offense competed.
the offense is what score points. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay. So I'm not gonna try to, I'm not gonna be fair weather and downplay it. How we are on this podcast. We tell the truth and we tell it the way it is. They didn't play well on defense last night. Our offense played well, and it is what it is. We can't expect them to sustain these. We got 6 fourth quarter comebacks this year. We can't expect them to sustain this. Although last night, sitting on the edge of my seat, I'm like, we got
Here we
this.
go.
I was like, here we go. We got this. Caleb thrives in this environment in the fourth quarter. But, I'm saying all that to say, they lost last night. I'm not going to call San Francisco a better team than us because I still saw the flaws in San Francisco as well. So I'm not going to say that they're a better team than us. But, come down, we got Detroit this week. Let's grade this week and move on. And I think Ben Johnson has been good at, taking it this season week by week. So I'm expecting them to come back, watch the film, readjust. The game is at Soldier Field. It's a 3:30 game, which I love. I ain't got to get up. I ain't got to get up. It's a 3:30 game. So yeah, so we'll just see how it shake out, man. But as far as wow. Okay,
21 nothing.
thanks, baby, bro. 21-9. Wow. Oh, how the might have fallen. So this, like I say, this seeding and all this is gonna be so good. And the Bears can find themselves with a home playoff game the first week. And we'll see how it rolls from there. We'll
Oh,
see
we're
how it
gonna
rolls
have
from there.
that. We're gonna have a home playoff game.
Yeah. So we're gonna see how it rolls from there.
But
But as far
just to combat what you said, and I'm bringing out my TI voice because we want to talk about this expeditiously. All right, you said that the offense scored points, but defense wins championships. Let's not forget that.
absolutely,
And with
absolutely,
this defense that
absolutely,
we have,
you can't win a championship
we
with this
couldn't
defense.
win the flag football championship or 7-on-7. So expeditiously, we need some defense. All right.
We do, but come on, let's get off them a little bit. Dennis
Don't you
Allen.
dare give them an A today. That's all I want to make sure that you don't do, because that would be some filth farm.
Filth.
Yeah.
Dennis Allen is a good coach, and he's actually diabolical with some of the schemes that he ends up scheming up. He's known for stopping things a mind like Brady. So Dennis Allen is actually throwing. I've been saying this all year, throwing everything that he can at the opposing team. So sometimes he's successful. We're at a deficiency in talent. That said, this is the team that we got. We're going to have to go out there and see what we can do. Hopefully we can get a couple guys back just so we can be somewhat healthy in the playoffs. And at this point, you got to play with what you got.
Right, absolutely.
Injuries are a part of the game. People get hurt. People don't make good showings. Let's see what we got. I like the idea that we lost before getting into the playoffs, because that if nothing else, that actually makes you a little bit more humble, a little bit hungrier. Maybe that allows you to pay attention to detail a little bit more, and do that in these individual games. So let's see what we got.
Simeon, that's a great that hypothetical.
What does it say? I can't see it.
Oh yeah, he was saying basically if we in the game 49 or 49 where we got the ball, You're not going to tell me we're not winning. I agree with you. I think this is one of the advantages of being able to be in those clutch moments and pull it out. Somebody put earlier that the Bears are actually I think Leon put it earlier.
Two
The Bears are
incompletions.
2 incompletions from being 13 wins, right? The incompletion. I guess when the incompletion was a pick on the Green Bay game.
Against Green Bay, yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
And then the play last night.
The play, right. And and then hypothetically, you just went to sleep on the Vikings in that first game. And
yep.
I mean, you literally could have more, but that was a hypothetical. But that's how you all build what team you are. And somebody mentioned something on one of the comments about watching those 2 quarterbacks play. Man, I thought from every game from Christmas that I saw up until yesterday, that was the only game that I saw where the 2 quarterbacks actually played like professional quarterback. I seen games from Christmas all the way up to Sunday where we had a quarterback that threw for 33 yards. We had a couple quarterbacks that actually threw. I think the Vikings quarterback threw for like 57. We seen another game where quarterback threw for 80 yards. We seen yesterday Pittsburgh lose a game where the other quarterback throws 2 picks and Pittsburgh can't even get a touchdown. They got 6 points in the game with Aaron Rodgers. And man, to watch these 2 guys battle, man, that was like that's a classic, man, because if they end up meeting back again, say I'm just hypothetically in the NFC Championship, man. I mean, imagine how that rating's going to be, man, and the talk is going to be Brock Purdy against Caleb Williams, and to think about our quarterback being talked about in the conversation, and people wanted to see him play. And I just want last comment I want to make is if you're still talking about like Quick would say, there's somebody still out there saying, man, we need to put Tyson Bagent in. And it's not no lie, because I'm in some groups where somebody said that. And there is somebody saying, man, what if Justin Fields was still with this team? I don't know. Kyle Long said it best. Kyle Long in the interview said, I don't know what else you need to see. This kid can battle. I don't get it, man. I just don't get it.
Yeah. Just what if Justin would have had this offense? We probably would have won 6 games.
The only thing that changed is he wasn't in the offense no more. That made it much better.
Hey, y'all ready for some grades?
Yeah, I was going to say
get grades now.
Yeah, I'm ready for some grades. I want to see this.
I'm not.
I'm feeling harassed. I'm gonna go to HR in front of Quinn. He is harassing me. That's not right. And Jay giving me that side eye at the same time. I don't want to do it.
Harass means harass. All right. So,
well, I'm gonna get my grades. I'm gonna get my grades. I think the Bears played well last night, in spite of the loss. I think they played well. They actually showed, to be on national TV 2 weeks in a row, and to put up the performances that they have, that they've had the last couple of weeks, is impressive to me. We haven't seen this in a while from a Bears team. But I'm going to grade the offense. I'm going to give them a C.
The offense, a C?
I'm going to give the offense a C, only because Ben Johnson didn't see he needed to run the football a little bit more to keep the San Francisco 49ers offense off the field. Defensively, I'm going to give them a D- because I felt like
D-.
I'm gonna give them a D. I'm not gonna give them an F. I'm gonna give them a D. The minus is gonna. I'm not gonna give them the F because
you ain't giving them an F, but I know who is.
But they got the pick 6 in the beginning of the game, so that should account for something. But I'm gonna give them a D-. I'm gonna give them a D- on defense because I felt like a lot of players was out of position yesterday. They couldn't get to the quarterback. No pressure on the quarterback. Brock Purdy was able to manipulate the pocket. And not only manipulate the pocket, when he got outside of the pocket, he was able to juke and jive a couple of defenders. So I'm going to give them a D minus. Special teams, they was just average. I'm going to give them a C. And the coaching, I'm actually going to give them a C as well. Ben Johnson, I think, got off his skis last night, and he tried to match and go toe to toe with Kyle Shanahan when he really didn't need to.
Okay. You know what? Offense, I'm gonna get Jay one of those moments when he say Barry Sanders is really not a good running back. But
I'll take that.
But I'm gonna give the Bears offensive A. That they scored 38 points in the game, and toe to toe, they got a lot of first downs. They was perfect on fourth down conversions. I think they was 50% on third down conversions. They had about 440 yards in total offense. That's an A for me. Defense, I'm gonna give them an F. That's pretty much almost like not showing up at all. When you give up that many points, they didn't do anything well last night at all. Special teams is average, maybe a C. Yep.
Okay.
No, let me go first because if you say the wrong grade, I can click off and hang up.
Go ahead.
Oh hell no! I'm gonna get an offensive A. Anytime you come and go toe to toe, throw for 300, balls flying all over the place. You got Luther Burden, the rookie, Colston Loveland, the rookie showing up. We had 6 yards per rushing attempt, 4.8 from the other running back per rushing attempt. That's an A. That's an A all day. It's just, Now let's get to these MF and SOBs over here on the defensive side. That's an F, man. I don't care what nobody says. That's failing to, your offense comes out there. They scored 31 points because the 7 was a pick 6. I don't care if you got a pick 6. You got a pick 6 and you give up 6 within the next 2 minutes. No. That's an F. Special teams, hey, I got to give it to Santos. I've been very hard on Santos lately. I'm going to give the special teams a B because he had some kicks he kicked the ball out of bounds like he was supposed to, got placement on the ball, kicked the ball into the landing zone a couple times, some funky kicks that he been working on, got all that type of stuff there. They didn't give up any big returns. Actually, saw some pretty big hits on special teams too from the Bears. And on that punt return, soon as he caught the ball, kabow, kaboom, kabang. I thought I was watching the 60s version of Batman, so I get him a B. And let's roll from there. Let me get my finger ready so I can hit this. But coaching-wise, I give him I got to give Ben Johnson himself a D because, like I said, he got into a pissing contest with the Zen Master and got off his game plan. We haven't had 40-some attempts since the previous administration was here. We got the second.
They didn't know what they was doing.
Yeah, we got the second highest running attack in the NFL, and we ran the ball 17 times. I can't give you credit for that. You get a D. Dennis Allen, you with your homies over here on defense. That's an F provided for yourself there. And all right, I'm done. Go ahead.
You gonna be all right, Thanos? You got the Thanos gloves now. You know that.
I'm about to be like that little white girl. Push the button. Push the button.
Okay. Offense. I gave the offense an A minus. 31 points in an NFL game was good, especially after they got into their rhythm. They started going tit for tat directly against San Francisco 49ers, and that's an offensive heavyweight team. So we were competitive with that, and because of that, I'm giving the offense an A minus. Defense, I'm giving the defense a D. And that's
my God, come on!
You know what? Don't even start. That's only because of the pick 6. So they, anytime you get a turnover and you score in that same game, that should put
they gave up 35 points.
That's why they got a D.
Because they gave up 35.
They've been known to give up more than that. They gave up 42 points actually. So
no,
there you go.
Well,
there you go. So when we start talking about the Bears scored 38 points, 7 of those points were the defense. Defense generally doesn't score in an NFL football game. So anytime you have a defensive score, that elevates the defensive level. That's the only thing that got them off an F to a D. Special teams,
40 burger put on them.
Anyway, I gave the special teams the B. I thought Santos did a good job, especially of kicking the ball deep, keeping them in a longer field position. Also, the Bears punter did a good job, making sure he turned the field. So special teams got that B. And lastly, I gave coaching. I gave a C plus to Ben Johnson because he devised all of the schemes and the plays that they allowed the Bears to score all those points. However, his ego got a little bit out of hand and got the best of him. He started trying to go, I want to show everybody that I'm smarter than Kyle Shanahan and I can hang with him. That's not the thing to do. And, part of the reason that he got that C plus is also at the end of the game, that time management put us at a deficit. So you don't have three timeouts with 2 minutes left and, call that last play. From time to time, Ben Johnson kind of does get a little bit ahead of his skis, and that ends up costing us. So I think when he settles down and he realizes, hey, I'm a head coach, let me be comfortable with myself, maybe he's going to get a little bit better with that in the game decision making.
Okay. And that's the thing, and Plank, that's the thing that you said. A first-time head coach has done this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Bears are 11-5.
Yes, sir.
None of us actually thought that this could 11-5 and win the division.
I didn't have that. I didn't have them doing that right.
We all had aspirations, but 11-5 and win the division. So we're ahead of schedule.
So my question to the Bears and the Bears fans: are y'all satisfied?
Right.
I'm not. I think they can do better.
I think they can do
I'm
better.
expecting more, so I don't want to rest on 11-5.
We can't have more points.
But you also.
We can't be expecting the defense to give up more points.
But you also have to realize too that the expectations have changed. The expectations that we had going into the season are not the same expectations that we have now.
Changed. Ours?
Yeah, absolutely. Ours as well as the team. And I can't really say the team because I don't know if Ben Johnson was like, okay, I'm gonna be satisfied going in as the first year head coach winning 9 games. I can't say that was his expectation, but I can say the expectation of us as fans has changed because we wasn't looking. If anybody would have told me I went to the MGM and put $100 on the Bears to win the division, I'd be like, okay, show me your ticket.
Yeah.
Show me your ticket. So we're ahead of schedule, and I'm okay with where we are right now.
Keep in mind how far this team has come this year. At the second game against Detroit, we gave up a 50-burger. The offense couldn't even call plays without getting penalties. We kept getting delay of games. We kept getting holding. All of those things, we were out of sync 100% until we had that bye, and he was able to clean some things up. So this is a different team than we started out with, but let's hope this is going to be a different team that we end up with. So,
and I just say, what do you say, Doc?
Trust the process.
There it is. Trust the process.
No, what Doc says is we're baiting people and we're getting to be masters at it.
It didn't work last night. We shot our wire early last night.
I do think we're looking at what the Bears have shown tremendous growth through the year. And I like what I heard from the players. That's why I played the little clip of Caleb, kind of talking about what happened. And even Luther talking about the game. What I did hear from the guys were a group of guys who felt, okay, we didn't win this one, but on to the next game.
Right.
We hope we played a good team over there. We'll see them again. And that's important because these guys are not fragile. Because I think last year we had a fragile group. Anything that went wrong, and I said last year, it's been going on for a few years. where some go wrong. One loss dominoed over into other ones because to have 2 10-game losing streaks that's pretty bad. Losing a losing streak is actually harder than a winning streak because it takes so many. Anybody can win on any given Sunday, just like the Falcons. It was Monday; they won it 21-0. I don't know what the score is now, but things can happen. Somebody could get injured, some fluke plays, etc. So to lose 10 games in a row, 2 years in a row, that's difficult. That's very difficult, and it's something in the mentality that does that. So these guys have the right mentality; they got the right coach, and I don't doubt that in the playoff run, that they will be able to put together what they need to do on offense and defense to win those games. And I'm not ruling the Bears out of being possibly in the Super Bowl this year. I think they just still feel like this is that team that through hook or crook, they're going to find a way to accomplish their goals. So I hope I'm right, but I see this team being able to succeed in the playoff run.
Because the NFC is wide open. The NFC, I don't, although, the Rams and Seattle, all these teams that's got these great records, it's still, we lead the league in penalties. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
But these teams that's won a lot of games, and like I said, going back to like schedules, we playing the last place schedule. Seattle playing, I believe San Francisco playing the last place schedule. So these teams are evenly matched in the NFC, outside of Philadelphia, who won the Super Bowl. But outside of that, I mean, the NFC is wide open.
Right. We already beat Philly. We beat Green Bay. So it's like, I mean, the Bucks in Carolina is the other team. It's like, all right. And that's what I was saying. Like, hey, I want Green Bay back here.
Yep, me too.
I want them back here. Let's go.
Me too.
Let's stop playing for who gonna go. Just flip a coin who going first, and then we go and host Green Bay here, and let's see what happens. But the expectations of the team and everybody now is like, hey, let's try to make a deep playoff run. Let's go. Let's see what happens.
I think the Bears were all sick this week because they all ate that spoiled cheese from last week. But you got to watch what you put in those cheese graters, man. That ain't good.
Hey guys, thanks for the great show tonight. Thank everybody who watched tonight and tuned in. Make sure you hit the subscription button and leave the notification on. Let's keep growing this show. And I do want to acknowledge that Jay is she still got that big lead on us. 14, he 14-2, and Jay actually ended up being, all of us picked the Bears, but he was pretty close. He had picked the game to be 38-35, so he was pretty close.
We did score 38.
Yeah.
We scored 38.
We scored 38.
They just scored 42.
Right.
Well, the score was 38-35 before they ran into each other on that last touchdown.
Right.
You're right, Quick. If they had made a stop on that would have been the score.
That would have been the end. Yep.
He was pretty they stop him the other time. Why should they stop him at the end? Be consistent.
Be who you are.
Right. They are who we thought they are.
Hey, let's get ready for this upcoming game against the who that we playing the last game?
Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions.
So there's some get back, man. We need some get back from that 50 burger.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Let's put them out of their misery. Man, I wish I had. I'm sorry. Last point. I wish I'd have had brought up that tape when Caleb Williams was on the St. Browns show back in the summer, and they was talking about the season. At some point, Amon-Ra St. Brown says to Caleb something like, that's talking smack. Then Caleb said, "We'll see you next year. We'll see you next season."
Yeah,
and it was like, "What did that mean?" And Amon-Ra like, "You don't want that smoke." Caleb said, "Yes, I do."
Caleb said, "Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
I want that smoke." He said, "You got a contract extension, right?" He's like, what that mean?
Right.
Okay, you've been around for a while. I
Right.
like that, man. My quarterback is telling this guy, oh, yeah, you beat us twice. Yep, you got us. But we'll be around for a while. We're going to make you eat those words. That's basically what he's telling them. Now, I'm around them looking sick, man. They looking sick. Dave Montgomery want to be traded. And
Yeah, they bad.
they talk
They
about,
bad right now.
whatever.
It's a whole lot of that's a whole nother show, but it's a whole lot of combinations that go why Detroit is bad. But that's a whole nother show.
Yep. Hey,
a whole nother show.
You got something for a plank before we shut it down for the night?
No, let's shut it down because I'm tired of Quick and him and Jay get together, and I feel abused and harassed, man. They need to call the HR on both of them, man.
Hey.
We ain't trying to make you feel like that, Plank. It's
My
called
feelings are
Bears.
hurt.
It's called Bears Banter for a reason.
Right. I mean, if you want to identify as somebody who likes to give a defense inflated grades, then I mean, hey, that's what you do. You know. Like,
that's his pronoun. That's his pronoun.
Right. That's his pronoun. He wants to identify as inflated grades.
This is about to stop quickly.
Hey, thank you everybody for tuning in. Until next time.